Hi there, your computer friend Connie here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what is a document library and why do you need possibly more than one of them within your team's environment. So first off, let's talk about what is a document library. So document library is simply a secure place to store your files, and it really is residing within the SharePoint site. So when we talk about teams and files, we really are talking about SharePoint and document libraries. So simply put, within the Teams environment, when you go to the Files tab at the top, you are looking at the default document library of the SharePoint site that's the same as your Teams environment. So that's one document library. You can create a second one. So why would you do that? Let's talk about that first. The first reason that you might want to create a second document library is because you want to create different permissions for documents within your team's site. So in the example of permissions, let's just say we have an HR team, human resources team, like I'm showing you here, and we have a channel that's called policy and procedures. Now, everybody that's part of the human resources team can access the policy and procedures channel, and you can see that the files area, we have a few files in. So unless we've changed the permissions, they have full rights to edit or add files to this files area. If within our team we have the need to draft policies, but there's only a few of us that should be really editing or adding information. The rest could possibly read it, or maybe the rest don't even have access to it. Then we would need a separate permission area. And so to do that easily, we can just create a separate document library that gives these permissions. So I'm going to go over to the draft policy here. So this is an example of a second document library within the same team, within a Teams channel. So it's aside from the files, which is the default. This is the default document library provided in all Teams channels. We have a second one called draft policy, and we created this one because we want separate permissions. We want different permissions than what's given in the files area. Okay, so that's reason number one. For the second example, I am in my mission marketing team and I'm in the online biz channel. And so here I'm in the files area. So this is the default document library. And what I want you to notice is the columns that are showing here. I have a column for the date the file was created, a column for the program the file's about, the file size, the document type. So these are specific columns that I've given to the files in this document library. Now, if I go to the second document library that I created called active marketing files, what I want you to notice is the look is different. So that's the reason why you might want to have a second document library, is because you want the look of the files to be different, as in you maybe want different columns of information. So in this document library, notice that the columns are, I have program here, type of doc, usage, so a little bit different kind of need here for these files, and that's why the document library is beneficial in this example. If you're curious at all on how to make these columns in the files area of Microsoft Teams, please check out my other video. I have it linked in the description below. Now let's go on to the third reason why you'd want to create another document library within your Teams environment. And that is, it gives you more organization. So if you find that you have lots of files and lots of folders and subfolders and subfolders, then maybe you need to look at how else could I show this information to the members of the team in this channel. And so a secondary document library can help you do that. So rather than just creating folders continuously, create another library. And so in this example here, I'm in my instructors team and in my training channel. I have a files area, of course. This is the default document library that I'm given within Teams. And there's lots of files in here. There's a couple of little folders in there. I could certainly put more folders if I want, but instead what I've done is I've said, okay, for training purposes, I'd like to show the course notes and manuals completely separate. And so if we look at the top here, we have a tab that says course notes and manuals, and that's where those files are. So it just separates the documents. So there you have it. You now know what a document library is, and you have some reasons why you might create one. So let me steer you to our next video in this series so that you can learn the steps to create the document library. All right, the link's in the description. Have fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.